house worth? Well, what would it sell for? What would it sell for? Well, what are similar properties selling for? And that information, with the reliable information source and the reliable confirmation source, must, every time, no exceptions, be included. So, I am hoping that everything I've said has made you feel better about the value of American real estate. And I've attempted, in the best way I could, to explain that epistemology, how we know what we know. Epistemology is very, very tricky, and I think in the information age, everything I've said goes into diligence and oversight, peer review, accountability at the federal level, the state level, at the industrial level, at the level of the private sector. Because ultimately, as I've mentioned, all of this is predicated on an appraisal, which is an opinion. I'm going to throw in one more note here, personal tale. I'd mentioned appraisal management companies, and that nearly every single residential real estate appraisal goes through an appraisal management company. Now, as these appraisal management companies became more heavily regulated from I think it was 2008, the Dodd-Frank Act. Was it that long ago? I don't know, maybe it was more recently. But being an industry professional, my job was to register my appraisal management company with every single state appraisal board. And everybody did it differently, which is good in a sense. Now, the state of Texas, check this out. The state of Texas decided that not only do appraisal management companies need to register, which was a requirement, the Texas Real Estate Appraisal Board decided that appraisal management companies must also perform their own review appraisals on every single active residential real estate appraiser on their appraiser panel. So this seemed like overkill to me. Because think about it this way. The appraiser performs the appraisal. Okay, that's an opinion. The appraisal management company has an appraisal performed on that appraiser, on that appraisal. So that's an opinion of an opinion. Now, the management company is required to evaluate that opinion of an opinion, developing a third level of opinion. And so then, obviously, the requirement by the state of Texas for the AMC to be responsible for the opinion of the opinion, generating their own opinion, the Texas Appraisal Board will then develop an opinion based on the appraisal management company's opinion, based on the review appraiser's opinion, based on the original opinion. See where I'm headed with this? And so when the fine state of Colorado and their appraisal board was developing their requirements, they were considering this same thing, and I explained to them then what I just explained to you now. That you're asking for an opinion of an opinion of an opinion so you can develop your own opinion. So I hope that kind of makes sense. This subject matter, I hope, was not too dry, but I think It's very, very, very important. This is arguably the most valuable real estate in the world, United States and America. And everything I've laid out for you, which you might say I haven't even touched the surface, if any true professionals or appraisers have listened or will listen to this podcast. Many would say I haven't even touched the surface, but I'm a cheerleader for all of these things, all of this oversight. It's worth also pointing out that every single time a real estate appraiser transmits an appraisal report to a lender or to a management company, the federal government gets a digital copy of that. And that should make you feel better. There is so much accountability, which results in so much reliability. Specifically in this case, for us to know what a specific piece of real estate is worth. The last fine point I would like to point out is that if you've ever seen a real estate appraisal report, the report is not the same as the appraisal. For every appraisal assignment, the appraiser generates a report. What they send off, the report is what is sent off to the intended user of the appraisal report. That is not the same as the appraisal itself. What everyone uses is a report. And I could probably talk all day about these things, but I hope you've learned a little bit, and I hope you feel better about American real estate and how incredibly complex and smart and thorough and reliable that information is. So in terms of epistemology, American real estate has hit it out of the park. And if someone told me that this is the best system in the world for determining the value of a piece of real estate, I wouldn't disagree. So when it comes to philosophy, there is application in industry that affects all of us. So thank you very, very, very much for tuning into this. I hope you learned a little bit, and I think if you were paying attention, I think you have to feel better about the strength that comes from the truth of the American real estate industry. And when it comes to epistemology, what we know, you can feel pretty good. You can rest easy. What you paid for your house, that's probably exactly what it's worth. So take care to your listeners. Thanks again for all of your contributions and your comments and your positive feedback. Thanks so much to the engineers, technicians, the legal staff at the Steel Plaza podcast. Whew. Boy, we dodged a bullet last time, didn't we? Oh, boy. So take care, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.